Okay, you guys, thanks for joining me for another Live at 5. It has been a crazy week in the world with the pandemic we're in, as well as in real estate. So this week I want to talk a little bit about some of the highlights that I've had. And it's one of my favorite things is when people will call me up. I mean, eventually they'll buy or sell, but right now their question is more strategy based, and I absolutely love to strategize with people. And with the climate that we're in of uncertainty, there's a lot of questions coming up. Not all around the pandemic and all that. We'll talk a little bit about that, but I'll give you just a couple of examples about the types of things. Sometimes I'll set up seller strategy meetings. I'll just set up strategy meetings about rentals. We did a strategy meeting about iBuyers this week. So really anything real estate related, it doesn't have to be buying and selling. Just shoot me a message, and I'd love to set up a time to chat with you about it. So for example, today I was talking to somebody about putting an outbuilding on their property and how much value would that add. So we can look up what do homes like this without an outbuilding, and there's a million different things that describe outbuilding. Okay, some people call a little tool shed an outbuilding. Some people call a 3-bay shop an outbuilding. So really, you got to really know what you're doing. And a lot of times before you do a home project, if you are not only doing it for yourself, but also because you want good resale value, please call me. I talked with a guy today. They are putting on like an ADU kind of, mother-in-law quarters, a room off the side of their home that will have a separate entrance. And when we got down to it, really, they were calling it that, but it really was only going to be a room, right? So the only value it gave was the square footage of a room. And they were right up against the utility room. So we're like, you can just put in a little kitchenette and a bathroom, a little bit more, this and that. And now you've actually created value. They didn't want to do that, and they may or may not. We'll have to look at the numbers a little closer. But by just doing it now in the building process, when they go to sell, an ADU, a rental area, all of that, way, way more value than just putting in one bedroom. So there's those kind of things that we're strategizing through, is outbuilding setbacks, what's the value of this and that, and even refinancing, right? So the rates right now are really low. If you have questions about that, I worked with somebody this week who they were going to call. It costs money to refi. And you got to determine, am I going to live there for 10 years? Am I going to keep this home for 10 years? When does what you've paid for to lower the rate make sense? So if you're going to live in 3 years, probably not. So this person's living there for at least 10 years, I said, and they can lower their payment by $150, which 10 years, that's $18,000 they're going to save. And the reality is, they actually can afford that $150. So they're going to lower the rate where their mortgage now is $150 less. However, they'll continue to pay the payment they've been making for the last many, many years, and that's going to cut years off of their mortgage, the length of their loan. So they're going to make a lot of money just by taking those steps at the right time. So please call me with those questions if you have any of those. I'll connect you with people who are much brighter than me when it comes to those kind of number crunching things. Last thing I want to talk about in terms of strategizing, because what's happening is we are having so many of our homes in the 300 to 400 range, especially under 350. If you're buying under 350 right now, I almost just, I want to send you, I don't even know what, something to say I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for the buying climate right now. We have buyers in that climate. We're selling. We have 3 new 340, 350 homes come on the market this week on our team. And I just feel the pain for the buying side. And yet if you are, because we've got multiple offers above price. So if you're looking at buying at 350, you have to look at 325. Don't look at 350. Unless it's been on the market for more than a week, don't even look at it. You're just going to be upset. It's going to go above. That's what we're seeing happen, and we're seeing it appraise above. So don't look where you can't buy. The price is not the price right now, and you're certainly not going to go below. And if you are at all thinking, hey, I don't know what's going to happen in the next few months. What we know is that I had someone who was going to go to Idaho today for some kind of sport thing. Idaho stepped back in its phases, got canceled. I know there's a lot of things where now, I mean, we know tomorrow we're all wearing masks everywhere, right? In Washington, in the state of Washington. So here in Vancouver, Washington, what we're seeing in the Pacific Northwest area is we're just seeing everything at that 350 range and below. If you don't want to be stuck, if we end up in another situation in the home you're in, this might be a great opportunity for you to move with a good deal of equity, possibly. I have someone I'm meeting with in a few hours. They bought their home 2 years ago. I forget what was it, 320 range, I'm going to say. And she's thinking about, we're doing a strategy meeting, right? So I'm going to talk with her about, does it make sense for her to sell in just 2 years? Well, first you need to make 2 years because you need to make sure that you don't end up with capital gains if you can. But the other thing is that it's already looking like 375 is no problem for her to sell. That is not normal. That's not a normal range. So because of that, if you are wanting to be stuck somewhere else, if the market shifts or the pandemic changes where we're at, let's chat. Let's just do a strategy meeting and see what makes the most sense for you. All right. Hope you guys are enjoying this beautiful day. It's gorgeous out there. Have fun.